Hey guys, and here with another Konosuba Fantastic Days video, and today's video is gonna be the top 5 mistakes beginners make. Actually it's 7, but I think 5 sounds a bit nicer. So most of the basic stuff I actually covered in the beginner's guide, but if you missed it, that's alright, you can actually watch it after this video. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of the things that you should and you should not do when just starting out playing, or maybe even right now. Some things you might just forget, or you know, you might have just not noticed, things like that, guys. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about are dailies. Okay, these are the most common stuff that all gacha players do, as they give the players a good number of things, you know, just by doing little things you get rewarded. Okay, right here, you know, just by logging in you get 400 stamina, which you can just quickly use up with your skip tickets as well. And what I usually do is use them on the hard mode, which I'm gonna be talking about next. Okay, so to complete this are really easy. Just do the free quest, the main or event story 10 times, the main or event quest on hard. This is especially important. Okay, but the part-time job, don't forget about that. Then participating in the arena. Okay, for the arena you need to be rank 10 and above, but I believe most of you are already past that. So what I usually do when a new day comes, you know, when it comes to reset. Okay, the game actually reset 2 hours ago. So I actually have the stamina stick right here. Okay, so what I usually do is I will collect this and then head over to the quest, okay, main menu, and then I go to hard mode, and then I'll just, you know, just use the skip ticket, just like that. Let me use the stick for now. I'm only left with like 17. Not really saving, but also not really wanting to spend that much. Okay, so I'll use the skip ticket and then just complete this, because this is like 3 by 3. I don't really like to rerun it like 3 by 3 and then next, you know. That's just how I'm playing the game. And I just use the skip ticket for the hard mode. So a quick one on why you want to actually do this. As I mentioned in the beginner's video, these actually give you like recipes and also crafting materials. You see, especially this one, the rainbow one. So the thing is, these are actually capped, you know, 3 times a day, all right, per stage. So you want to do as many as possible and then, you know, start crafting these things. And on top of that, they give you the event ticket as well. This, I think, like 7 per stage, right, if I'm not wrong. Let me just, yeah, it's more or less 7 per stage. All right, so I have 22 now and get some earrings. Okay, this is the recipe. So you want to be doing this. Okay, the next one that you do not want to be missing out are the free quests. Okay, this one, and this one. This one rotates like every day, but be sure to just do it. And then go XP pots. Right now you definitely need a bunch of these to level up all your characters, to promote them as well. And don't be afraid to just, you know, go into this and whatever. Even though like you're not supposed to be farming these, but you know, emergency, you can actually just do a few runs, especially the Aries quest. I'm always running out of Aries. Okay, for the event, okay, right now it's actually left with like 4 days. Okay, 3 days and 23 hours. Okay, for the event, you also want to do this. Okay, you might miss this, but this one, dailies, you can actually complete this 5 times. You know, if you want to save on the tickets, you might just want to consider doing beginner too, because they give you like just a bunch of medals. I think 3 or something like that. But if you can do like the higher stages, you can actually run them 5 times a day as well. But we only left with 4 days, so I believe most of us are stuck at EX1. Only players that started during soft launch or whales might be able to complete this. It's like 28,000 power, just for reference. I'm actually running this on EX1 auto with something like this. Yeah, it's only like 22,000, but this can actually clear auto like pretty easily. I'm happy with that. Mainly is because it's fire team, and you can see there's a 2-star and 3-star unit. This is actually free. I'm gonna talk about this in a second. So anyway, back to the hard mode. You try to do as many as possible. I'm actually stuck at I think 6 or something. You know, it's like getting harder here. So if you can do as much as possible, even if you're stuck at whatever, you know, don't have to worry that much. You can always come back later when your team is stronger, or you can actually try running on manual. You can actually learn your team skills and what to do, you know, manual 1 by 1. In case on auto, they just use the skills as and when they like. Maybe it's better to save up certain skills. Okay, next I want to talk about summoning. I'm just gonna be the devil's advocate in this video. I know we talked about that in the previous video. We all know that gems or quartz they're giving isn't a lot. They're not like really generous. And the PD is 250, which is 75,000 gems or quartz. Alright, like who even has the strength to save up this much, especially in a gacha game? I know some of you guys pull whenever you have like 3,000. Or worse, you know, some of you that pull on these singles, okay? Even though this is a 3-star guaranteed. This is like the minimum that I would go just doing 10 pull if you can't control the urge. But some of you, okay, are gonna do this every single time. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is try to save whenever possible. Especially if your team is okay, it's like isn't struggling that much, then there's definitely a better banner since JP has already gotten those banners, right? There's power creeping is real in this game, and those limited banners contains really nice waifu that are good. Alright, but like a previous video, if you are lacking on fire units, don't be afraid to do a couple of pulls, especially for some of the units. This is actually a pretty decent banner, I would say. Okay, ignoring these two, Erika and Megumin are actually pretty good, and since the rates is like 0.4%, they add up to 0.8%, which is pretty decent for a good 4-star unit. But mostly you'll be getting like 2-star and 3-star units, and some of them are actually really good for the event. But the event is gonna end in about 4 days, so you just want to think about that. Probably after this, we're gonna get like banner back to back. It might be this way for especially at launch. But okay, let's be honest, it's a gacha game. We just love summoning. This is the main reason most of us are actually playing. Just to pull for waifus. Okay, I know I just put on the banner, but let's move on to the next point. Okay, I'm pretty sure most of you have already crafted like equipment and things like that. Okay, those are fine. I personally think they are okay because these are just materials that you can just use. Alright, this as well. If you like stuff like okay, maybe like for the event, you might just want to get some wind earrings, get some physical defense with some wind resist. Or if you are done with building your characters, you might just want to get these. Or you want to do it for arena, you can actually grab this as well. Maybe even this. Yeah, okay, you can just make whatever. Okay, but the point is, if you actually have these, right, you can see this. What I just did, this is just ridiculous, right? I can make this mistake so you guys can see how much I'm regretting right now. So yes, you should not waste too much on those upgrading materials like I just did, because they are really costly after that. Because the equipment later also use the same stuff. I'm a little bit upset about this, to be honest, because they are not like separate types. Bronze using like just like low level materials, and then like the higher tier one uses higher stuff. I'm a little sad mainly because those materials are actually pretty hard to come by. I wish they are obtained easier, but this is how the game is right now. Okay, so anyway, what you should be using on, at least the gold ones and above, which is the rainbow ones. There's only 2 types that you can be using. Okay, let me just go over. Okay, so for example, I crafted the assassin dagger for Melissa, okay, which actually mainly for this 7% boost. Okay, I think it's fine to actually upgrade until maybe 3 at most, because it's gonna be like super costly after that. Let me just show you. Alright, it's gonna start using the gold ones, so you might want to save this for your 4-star ones. So I think upgrading to 3 is fine. You can go all out. You still use it because the 4-star rainbow ones are not gonna come by anytime soon. So in the meantime, if you need some boost for your characters, to overcome some content, I think it's actually fine. And I believe for most part, there's a total of 10 equipment, right? So I don't expect us to have like 10 rainbow equipment all of a sudden, right? So for most part, I think the gold gear are sufficient, but don't do this, right? You can see that I actually upgraded a lot of the bronze one. Like I wouldn't even suggest like upgrading the silver ones, since right now some of the gold ones are farmable already. Okay, but there are some in the arena, all these actually only you can actually exchange from here. But these, I think they actually drop somewhere. Yeah, these actually drop, in the story, so don't exchange for this. The arena medals are pretty precious. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is don't sleep on the low rarity characters. Okay, let's face it, most of us are not going to start the game with full 4-star roster with each elemental, filling the sub slots with like, 10 total. So with each element is like 15 times 7, actually 105, but if you reduce that to 5 elements, it's still gonna be 75 characters. I don't think we are gonna have like 75 4-star characters. Okay, let's take out the sub characters. Alright, 5 times 5. 25 4-star characters, so 5 per element. I don't think most of us are gonna have that. Okay, and especially true if you're free to play. Okay, so what I'm saying is, thankfully, that the low rarity characters like these, they actually have a place, even the 1 and 2-star ones, okay? I was actually using the 1-star dust. He's actually fire element, so it's actually pretty decent. In fact, I feel like the game actually encouraged us to use them, since there's like elemental weakness and strength. Just a reminder that strong elements deal 1.5 times damage, extra damage, right? they also receive 25% less damage. Okay, there's also a tier list for them that says that they are strong and can be even used in arena. Okay, so like I mentioned, there's total of 7 elements in this game, and even discounting the light and dark ones, there are like 5. Okay, you would probably want to be building, you know, your teams around these elements. But you know, like Melissa and also Iris, since they are light and dark, okay, not this Melissa, this one here, you can still bring them. Thankfully, they have like extra things in their kit, which, you know, justify them being around. By the way, this is actually my EX1 auto team. I'm actually running them on auto 1. Still can't do EX2 yet. I don't know how. Like, even on manual, I can't beat like EX2 with this team. But I don't know, mainly it's because they are not like max level yet. You can see here that they are like half done. Because I was like trying to build them up, and then I pulled, and then I got to rebuild certain characters. So I'm hoping like in a day or 2, I should be able to do that. You know, but in the meantime, I'm actually quite satisfied, you know, just running EX1 on auto. In gacha games, I don't really enjoy doing manual on stages, you know, since you're gonna be farming quite a bit. So I really like to just let them run in the background, and then while doing my own stuff. While we are still here in the topic, okay, next I want to talk about reserve. So the next mistake is releasing reserve. There's actually people telling me that they release 4-star. There's actually people telling me that they release 4-star reserve to try to get the 4-star ticket to do a roll, and then gotten something even worse, right? When they actually have a good 4-star reserve. So even if it's like 2-star, right? Okay, what I'm trying to say is, if you're new, or if you just do not know like which characters are good, because we are still learning at this point, I highly recommend that you do not touch them until you understand what you're doing, you know, or at least max skill them up. Okay, maybe for some exception, but we're not gonna talk about that. Okay, so you basically probably need like 5 copies of the same character to max awaken, since every character give like skill up times 3, and there's like 15 or 0.15, 555. Okay, so I mean, sure, if you play for very long, you definitely get them from pools, but in the case you want to use them for events, like, you know, like current one, if you put like copies of 2-star CeeLo, it's gonna help you with this event. So a fully skilled 2-star might be better than what we think. Of course, the 3-star will perform even better, you know, like a fully maxed out 3-star character. So next one I want to talk about is not leveling the sub characters. Okay, so main characters are important. You know, what you gotta do is you got to max promote them. 2-star ones are really easy to promote, by the way. They don't take that much resource compared to the 4-star units. So in this game, sub characters give a huge boost to your main character stats. Per sub characters, you're gonna get at least 30% to 40%. 40% if they matches the face. And with 2 characters in the sub slot, it's gonna be 60% for non-matching ones, and then 80%. So just give you an idea, like example, 4-star Melissa, right, could potentially give you 89 physical attack if it's a non-matching character, and 118 P attack if it's the same character. So it's like, to Melissa, it's just gonna give you like 118 physical attack just because they matches. And this dagger actually give like 72, right? And I took quite a long time to actually farm for the materials for these. So by adding the rest of the stats, that one is only giving you physical attack. Okay, I just want to give you a rough idea. You see, like all these, they actually gain from this. But the agility, dex, and luck, they don't gain from the substats. So just so you know. And this is not counting the passive boost that they give, you know, like things like this. So when they are fully promoted, they'll give you extra boost as well. Okay, I actually made a video for sub characters. You can check it out if you like. And then similarly, the next mistake is actually subbing the wrong characters. I'm quite sure some of you are actually guilty of this, right? You might just do this. Done. Okay, let's go. okay, maybe better, you know, just do this, right, for the fire event, right? Then you just sub this and then just go. To be honest, I think this is actually not too bad. We can actually even try to do a run on this, but I don't think we have enough time. I usually try to keep it short, but usually overrun. But that's about it for today. Anyway, this is only for today's video. I'm gonna switch back to Megumin in a second. So I hope this video give you a rough idea on like the typical mistakes that players do, and it's actually quite common for like players to make the same mistake as well. But hopefully, you know, if you're new or you just started a day or 2 and you happen to watch this, or maybe like, you know, just nice you're watching this, please consider the following points, alright? So that's all for today's video. I think it's gonna go into maintenance now. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you have not already. Appreciate it if you do. Like this video and comment right down below if you actually made the same stupid mistakes that I did, or maybe even worse, or some of the ones that I pointed out. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.